Welcome to Youth Matter, a talk show that focuses on the youth and what they have to say regarding the issues that impact them and possible solutions that can elevate their quality of life. I'm your host, Dontaya, and to my right we have Malia and DeAndre. Thank you. Guys, we are so honored to have you here today. As you know, we're going to be talking about youth public safety tonight, and it's really, really important. So with that being said, I'm going to ask you all some questions, okay? Do you know about the issue here in our city regarding the missing kids?
Personally, I do because I kind of like watch the news and everything, and then also there's like bulletin boards and stuff on like stop signs and everything that's around the city. So I kind of am aware of the situation and how they're going missing, or even if they're just a runaway.
Um, yeah, I've seen it personally. Like not seen it, but like I've like had people, through the like school wise, friend wise, just personally. Like not seeing it though, but I've heard of it.
Thank you. So having some friends that run away, hearing about it, seeing the billboards and the signs, and I mean, you go on Walmart, and first thing you see is a whole bunch of pictures of people who have gone missing. How does that make you feel?
Personally, as a person with younger nieces and nephews and like just younger kids that I'm around, it's like scary, I will say, because there's just a lot of kids that I know of that are younger and they're not necessarily like cute kids, but that's what they are. They're cute little kids and kind of like not necessarily the target of what most people would go for. And sometimes I see kids that look like them and I'm like freaking out in my mind, and it's just something that's scary to see and have to look at and everything. And it just kind of like saddens me to know how long they've been missing for, or even if they're just missing for that specific day, and like how the parents must feel and how they must feel considering the fact that they're not with their parents, they're not with anybody they know. And it's just like a heartbreaking thing to have to see every time you go into like the grocery store.
You know, when I walk in, I gotta think about how the people feel about like child wise, was going through their mind, thinking about what they're gonna do, what was their plan, how they're gonna get out of the situation that they're in. I was thinking about that. You gotta think about like the parents wise, like what could they have done better? What have they done to like make the child want to go somewhere that they don't want to be near them? So like thinking about that, you gotta think on a perspective of how they were thinking instead of like thinking about, oh, they probably just ran away because they didn't want to be home. You gotta think hard and long about it. Because if you don't, you're just gonna get to situations that you don't want to be in. So.
That's very good. That is very, very good. And DeAndre, I'm glad you brought that point up because a lot of our children, they want you to believe that a lot of them are running away. And it's happening, right? With that being said, when you run away, you are susceptible to being snatched. Not only snatched, trafficked, and all of the other things. But you spoke on how it's just not about them running away. Friends and people that you know that have run away from home, what's some of the things that can cause that? If either of you, and it doesn't have to be the both of you each time, but if you know personally, like what do you think some reasons are that would cause a child to run away? And then to our first point, do you even feel safe walking out of your door? So that's a two-part question, okay? Number one, do you feel safe walking out your door knowing that kids are going missing? And then on the runaway aspect, what's making them run away from home?
Um. So you want to start with the child? All right. All right. So what I've heard actually, like I'm out of school. I think I know like two people actually, and a good friend of mine. He had run away because like his parents. It was just his parents. Like they got divorced. Then there was like a little thing between the mom and the dad. They were like problems going back and forth. Then ended up going through his behavior like at school. Like when you think about it, it's like what could be that problem at home. And then when he told me, I had asked, really, actually, I had asked because I saw a poster up in a corner store, and I saw it on the wall. And I saw it here our last meeting here with the kids. I saw his picture on the wall, and I had asked him what was going on. He was like, it's your stuff at home, can't handle it. He wanted to get away, so he got away. He went to a friend house. Then he started moving back and forth. Then with the walking out outside, he said that he wouldn't even really feel safe outside of his own home, even though he ran away. His inner thoughts of being outside of his own home had him thinking of process what could really happen to me, what could really happen to, because he has a little sister, so he's thinking about what his little sister was going to happen, what's going to happen between his mom and his dad. He a whole bunch of things was running through his mind. So you know, personally on a personal level, what I was thinking about walking, how I feel, I used to get on the bus. I ain't gonna lie, I used to get on the bus. Man, every time I walk out that house, I walk down the street, get to the bus stop. I was I'm looking every time, right to my left, right to my left. I'm looking. If somebody walk by me, I'll move up, and then I'm looking right to left, because can't be really. You can't trust nobody. Sometimes you can't trust nobody, even if you do know them for a little small period of time. You still can't know them. So just thinking about it, walking out, even walking in my own school, you don't even know who's gonna be there. Somebody could fake it, Somebody could just be there, So, yeah.
I think for me personally, being a younger female, a young black female, it sometimes can be uncomfortable walking around and not necessarily walking around, but having to catch the bus, public transportation, and everything, and not knowing if you have not necessarily that lifeline, but sometimes you can't pull your phone out and quick enough, or you're on the phone with somebody and you're oh, this dude's kind of staring at me, but it's not necessarily that you don't you can't trust everybody. It's just sometimes you just don't know. Considering the fact that all these kids are getting kidnapped, it's really weird not knowing who you can and who you cannot trust. So I just think walking out the house and catching the bus sometimes, it's you do kind of have to be on high alert, unfortunately, which it really shouldn't be like that. But sometimes it is like that, and sometimes you have to keep looking to your right or keep looking to your left and having to keep watching out, and it can get uncomfortable. Sometimes if you just aren't feeling not necessarily not safe, but because you feel like somebody's looking at you too weird or too long, or if somebody's walking too close to you, or there's a million other seats on the bus open and he just randomly decided to sit next to me, or someone says a comment to you that can make you uncomfortable, but they said it in a joking manner, but also is I don't know you. So sometimes it can be very uncomfortable to have to not necessarily use public transportation, but have to use it, and there's other people that you don't know who's around. So it's not necessarily a scary thing. It's kind of a mindset you have to have, if you're constantly thinking oh, I'm going to get kidnapped, or someone's going to snatch me, or someone's going to do this, it's not necessarily you're manifesting it, but that's you're going to keep saying it, and you're going to keep feeling that way, and you're going to keep continue to be uncomfortable. So really you just got to keep my head up, or I'm going to be fine, or this is full, this is cool. I got 911 on speed dial. Everybody's there, and not necessarily everybody's there, but most times you're going to have somebody to be able to call if you are in an uncomfortable situation. So I just kind of think that's how I feel about it.
Thank you guys for that. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, that's something to think about, right? Because you should be able to walk out your house and feel safe. And the truth of the matter is, sweetheart, sometimes you can't. Sometimes the way that this world is, it's impossible to just feel safe all the time. It's impossible to just feel like you can go out your house and everything is going to be all right. We kind of have to be aware and we have to be alert, which is going to bring us into our next segment. So after the break, we will come right back and talk about that. And we're back. And now, as you can see, we have a new person that joined us on the couch. Can everybody give it up for Asia? So, Asia, I wanted to talk to you because I know when we talked backstage, we kind of spoke about just a normal walk to the bus stop is not a normal walk anymore. So, explain that to us.
Yeah, when we was talking like in the backstage, we was talking about like I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We was basically talking about like being followed, like as a young female that goes to school. Guys like to prey on like younger females, like looking at younger faces. So they'll like follow you. I got followed multiple times. I got stopped, put like when they like would be in their car. I got stopped to ask if I needed a ride. I would nicely decline. I would keep walking. They would spin back and say it again, and I would keep walking. I got told, like I got stopped before multiple times. You're very beautiful. How old are you? And I'd be like, I'm a child. And I keep walking. They'd be like, well, you're gonna grow up to be a beautiful young lady. And like it's just like creepy stuff like that that females unfortunately have to go through.
Thank you for that. So when those things are happening, because one would say, okay, that's a compliment, but it's the coming back, it's the circling around, it's the invading your privacy. Okay, I'm a young lady, them not paying attention to that. Was there fear?
At a point in time, it was fear when it first started happening because this like it was like my first time being out like by myself walking around. But I kind of unfortunately got used to it, and that's like not okay to me. But in the society that we are now, we have to like be more like vigilant on like who's around us. You have to look over your shoulder a couple times because you okay, this person is keeps following like walking straight. Oh no, he just turned with me. Like you have to like be more vigilant about certain things. So.
Yeah, how do you feel about that, Malia? You talked about having a similar experience of being followed, you know, but it wasn't the normal, just a guy trying to talk to a girl, right? It was a little bit different. How did that make you feel?
To kind of talk about the little situation or whatever, I was waiting for the bus and a man walks up to me and he goes, "Oh, like you're really pretty. Like how old are you?" And I was 14. Today's my birthday. Woohoo! But he asked me how old I am and I told him my age and I was like, "I'm a minor." And he goes, "Oh, wow, that's so crazy. Like you're really beautiful. Like I wish you were older." And in my mind, I was thinking, and I'm like, I don't even know how to respond to that comment. Like it's weird. It's uncomfortable. Like, and as a female, like seeing everything, like usually most cases, if you respond to that comment negatively, most boys, men, whatever you want to call them, they get upset about it and they feel like you're like hurting their pride or whatever. So it was a very uncomfortable situation, and I didn't know how to handle it, so all I did was laugh. But when he kept repeating it and kept getting closer, that's when I was really uncomfortable, and I went back inside the train station that I was waiting for the bus at, and I tried not necessarily tried to stay with a big group of people, but I went on my phone, I put my headphones on, and I like pretended like I was on the phone with somebody, but I shouldn't have to do that. Like I told you I'm a minor and you keeping like continuing to repeat that comment and like getting closer to me, and like you can obviously tell I'm uncomfortable, but it's honestly not necessarily a fear, but it's more of like a alarm ringing in my head, like this is not something that's normal, this is not something that should be happening. And it's just the having to stay vigilant, like she said, and continuing not necessarily to look over your shoulder, but also making sure everything that you have is safe and also you're safe. That's more so how I see it.
Absolutely. I thank you guys for your responses. Yes, it's important. It really, really is important. And no, we're not trying to perpetuate fear, right? We're not trying to, celebrate fear and talk about it. But one thing we are trying to do is keep you guys aware. This whole talk show today is to spread awareness about our children who are indeed going missing, about the gun violence in our community. Surrounding our youth, surrounding our babies, right? And just hearing from you all. This is about you. Hearing your voice on the matter. Hearing how you feel just getting up and going to school day to day. So when we come back from this short break, we're going to talk about some tactics to take when you are indeed walking to and from the bus stop. okay? Some important things that you should know and always have your focus on when you're out in the community. Thank you. Welcome back. So now, as you see, we have a new body on the couch. This is a retired police officer, grandmother, mother, Miss Justine Harris. I'm so honored to have you on the couch, not only because of you professionally, but you're a mother, you're a grandmother. You've been here in the city of Buffalo, and you know how important it is, just how important it is to be vigilant and aware when we're out in these streets. So my question for you is, what are some tips to keep our youth vigilant? Just some tips that you have for them when they do leave the house.
That is interesting. I wish I had did some research before coming here, because a lot of the same advice that we give to elders don't go the same path, because people are always watching you. It's a little hard for you to understand how the person who is preying on you thinks, because you're not that person. If somebody is a thief, it's hard to advise them how to protect themselves from being a victim of theft, because you're not a thief. But in police, we learn, sometimes you learn different things to advise people. And so we always would tell people, which is the same that would apply to you all, as young people, is don't take the same, if you can help it, don't take the same path all the time. Like, with the elderly, they used to get their Social Security checks a certain time in a month. So people knew when they got their checks and they were going to walk to the bank. They watch. If somebody is going to prey on you, they watch your pattern. But if you change it up, just be random, they can't figure out, oh, she's going that way, he's going that way. Some of the tips that they also said is always go at least 2 people. Don't feel embarrassed that you are asking somebody to accompany you. It's called being smart and being safe, because we definitely want you guys to fulfill your dreams, right? But in order to get to those dreams, you have to place yourself in a situation where you're safe. And being safe means not, I know y'all young people, because my granddaughter didn't want to hear me say this, is not having your earphones, in, those ear pods or whatever you call them, in your ears. Oh, yep, he has them on. Because you can't hear. And don't, always, always, always remember, if somebody wants to bring harm to you, they're watching you first. They're going to study you. All the time, they're studying you and they're watching your patterns. And if you are predictable, then you become a victim. But you have the power and authority not to be a victim. Be confident. Some of the tips did say be confident. You don't walk, slouched over, looking depressed, looking hopeless. You walk with, like, if you touch me, it's going to be a problem. And that was another thing. As a young woman, we used to always say, you better fight back. Even if you lose, fight back. Scream, whatever, scream. Look up some words. You guys always going on YouTube or whatever y'all do. Go and prepare yourself. It's better to have the information and don't need it than to need the information and don't have it. Do you understand what I mean? So, go and Google what are some ways to protect yourself, because knowledge is power. Hutch Tech, we're the tech person. 1976 graduate. So that was Hutch Tech's motto, is knowledge is power. And as you all know, because most of y'all go to church, Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So we don't want you to be destroyed. We don't want nobody stealing your future. We want you to empower yourself and always fight back. If somebody tries something, you fight with every breath you have. All right? Learn those techniques. Hit them right here. For men, you hit them in the groin area. And as soon as you concentrate on those areas. If you can, get them in the eyes, throat, groin area. If it's a female that's grabbing you, if they have hair, you grab that hair. Now, I'm telling you what we did on the police department, because all those little self-defense things that they taught us, that went right out the window. You fought for your life. And so if it's a female, you grab that hair, pull them down, and you punch them in the face, and you run like heck, okay?
Awesome, awesome advice. We can actually give her a round for that. And I hope that thank you. And I hope that we were paying attention, because this is important. Those are some techniques. You heard her. Take it to the eyes, take it to that throat, groin area, pull that hair, and then run and holler. Listen, bring some attention to it. But most importantly, don't be out there preoccupied on your phone, head down, earphones in your ears. So we want to thank you for that, because those are also some tips to keep you safe, We'll be back right after this. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome back to Youth Matter. We have two more beautiful people joining us on the couch. Let's give them a round. We have Kalia and Brandon. Welcome. So in this segment of the show, we've talked about all the things, right? We've talked about our children going missing, running away, feeling a disconnect between parents. But this segment, I want to talk about gun violence in our community. And again, the disconnect between parents and their children, having a safe place to go, things like that. So when we were backstage, Brandon, I do remember we talked about an incident that you had that affected you directly with gun violence. If you care to tell us about that.
All right, so like not too long ago, I was at a park, and it was just like a regular park. There was a lot of people. It was a summer day, and it was a big group, like I'd say like maybe over 80 people trying to target one person. And he was like, they were all like, we were all teenagers. So he said that the one person said he had a gun on him, and the 80 people thought that they could overpower him and like get him down and take the gun from him. So they tried that, and one person ended up getting shot right in front of my eyes. I was right there. Me and my sister and my brother, we all witnessed it, and it's like a traumatizing situation, because like you just don't want that to be you, and like anything could have happened. It could have been a stray bullet or something, and like anything like that. So yeah, that's kind of traumatizing, but.
Wow. And just watching your mannerisms is traumatizing, but yeah. Do you kind of feel like that's the norm? Do you kind of feel like, because you said traumatizing, but yeah. Do you feel safe going out of your house, or do you feel like you need protection? Well, I'll say this. I'm sorry about that. It came to me as I was about to pass the mic to you. Forgive me. Because you said, a young man said, I have something on me. So why is it that you think this person felt the need to have something on them?
I mean, people like certain people get themselves in situations to where they like need a gun on them, like they say things that they shouldn't say or do things that they shouldn't do. So like basically, I mean, me personally, I feel like depending on where I go, I do need a like some type of defense mechanism or whatever, how you say that. But yeah, like I don't know, yeah.
And I mean, if you don't mind, I do feel like the general question, like, do you feel safe when you come out the house? Like, I don't take the bus all the time, but there was a period that I did. And I found myself, like, holding my keys between my hands. So, like, if somebody was to run up on me, I'd be able to do something. And it's just the fact that you have to feel like, and I know some of the ladies before were talking about it, that you have to feel like you have to, protect yourself and be aware. And even with the headphones, like I'm grateful that the ones that I have, they have like this feature where you can like hear the outside noise as well. And that has helped me feel a little bit more safe and calm going outside and like just being in the world, because you don't have the same. I feel like back then, I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent, but I feel like back then when your parents start to talk about like, oh, this world is crazy and, da da da, you're like, yeah, and I agree. And it sucks because you can't go outside and, wave to your neighbor, like, hey, neighbor, what's going on? Like, you don't have that same community feeling outside anymore. So it feels more isolated and alone because it's a lot of danger and people that feel like they need to have protection on them and just people trying to have a good time. Like, you just kind of keep that awareness at all times. It's a little tiring, I feel like.
Could be a lot of weight. Seems like a lot of weight for you all to carry as youth. Seems like a bunch of weight for anybody, but especially you guys growing up. You want to go have fun. You want to be able to do the things, right? Are there a lot of community centers in your area for you all? How do you feel about sacred places that you guys have that you can go and have fun? Or are there any places like that? Do you guys have any community centers that offer you more than just basketball?
So for me, I would say like we need more of it because so basically everybody's just going outside just to do what they want, like swim, play basketball, hang with friends, all types of things. But like I feel like we need something to where we could do that inside like a safer environment because stupid like not like sorry my language, but like stupid people are outside doing stupid things like stealing kids and kids with guns doing stupid things, trying to fight all type of stuff. So I feel like we need uh like a community center to like I don't know, kind of like help it just so we could be safe, basically, just so we could be safe.
Yeah, and I agree. I feel like even if there are community centers out there or in my neighborhood, it's not advertised well because I know nothing of it. And if it is a community center, it's in a shady part of a town. So it's like I don't even want to go there because it might not just be like youth that's trying to have fun or like me and my friends wouldn't even want to go because it's like I don't know how else to say this, but like the crackhead on the street is in a community center chilling. This is probably a safe space for them, but it wouldn't be for me. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable being there and trying to spend my time there. It's like it's also the part of just being aware. Like yes, I can go to a community center, but it's always when you think you're safe, you might not be safe. So I don't know. I feel like if we do have community centers, get the opinion of the youth, get their reach them in the way that they'll see it. Like if you complain about us scrolling on our phone, put it on there so we can see it, so we can go there. But yeah, that's what I'd say because I really don't know of any, and I'm not fond of it because it's not in a proper view in my eye, I guess.
I love that. I love your answers, and it's so true, right? What's the sense of having a community center in a place I wouldn't even go, right? And if it's supposed to be for you, then tell me about it, right? I totally agree. So what you're saying is like put it on social media, put it on TikTok, put it on YouTube, put it on these Instagram, these things that can reach you all. We need more of that. It's important, and it's important for you all to feel safe and have a space that's specifically for you. So I'll ask you guys, have you had a conversation with your parents regarding this? Like regarding these topics of you feeling safe, wanting a more sense of community between you all, a place to go. Have you had a conversation with your parents regarding it? Do you feel comfortable talking to your parents regarding things you all go through? Because with what I heard today, I'm hearing about some people not feeling safe when they leave outside of the house, misunderstandings between children and parents, gun violence, lack of community centers. How do we feel about talking to our parents about this?
I feel like, okay, talking to our parents about this. Okay, I feel like if I were to go to my parents and tell them, and this is nothing against them, and this is not that I don't appreciate their opinion, because I confide in my parents, but if I were to be like, yeah, when I go outside, I hold my keys in my hands like this and blah, 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 it further reiterates the fact that it's not safe outside, so stay home. So, and it's like, I don't know how to, it's not that I don't want to tell them, and it's not that it's just teetering between like, I want to have that freedom to go outside and do stuff and have fun somewhere. But if I'm scared to be outside, period, then what's the point of telling them I want to go if they're going to be like, well, didn't you just say? So I feel like, especially with me getting older and just realizing that, like, at home, I'd be chilling at home all day. Like, I don't have that experience nor need to, like, feel like I want to go hang out with my friends at the park to like, to whatever, and have the stories that your parents might have, well, that my parents might have about, having fun in their glory days, whatever. Like, I don't have that. And if I'm getting older now and I don't have a place to do that or a community center that's going to give me that, or even like a safe home, like your friend's house, you don't even know who's going to be there, like just stuff like that. And I will say, for the community centers, if you're going to do a community center for the youth, don't just give us a basketball court and a swimming pool and like a random gym. Like, give us a room where like it's good food, or like somewhere that's like a fun room, like just something that's outside of the norm where we can have fun somewhere, like a place to enjoy themselves, I guess.
All right, so I kind of agree with her when she said that our parents are kind of gonna make that like another reason for us to stay in the house. I feel like they might not understand like that we want to go out, but like there's not much to do, so we're going to the same. Everybody's going to the same spot, and then this person might have beef with this person, and then it just escalates and it gets bigger than it needs to be. So yeah, I feel like a community center needs to have a lot of activities to keep us entertained and yeah, stuff to do.
Also, I would say too, I'm sorry. I feel like for youth to be comfortable in a place, you have to have youth there. Like, and I'm not saying that like adults make us uncomfortable, but if you want somebody to feel that it's where they belong, have youth employed. Have, invite youth to be hired there, and so they can invite their friends to have another place where now you have a job, now you have a place to be at, and it's like you create that community and sense of kindred with the people in your neighborhood. I feel like if we have that, it'll be more safer and more welcoming as well.
I agree. We can clap for that, right? I totally agree. Yeah, yeah. Thank you guys for your opinion and on these topics. Like, I am truly, truly impressed with all of you. You made some very, very valid points, and we see that our youth have a voice. We see that our youth indeed matter. Bottom line, y'all deserve to be safe. Bottom line, you deserve to be safe, have a place to call your own, have a place that's about you, that can give you jobs and opportunities, a community of youth to be able to go to a place and just be safe. I thank you all for tuning in with Youth Matter, where the youth really do matter, okay? Your opinions, your insight, we take it to heart. When we come back from this short break, we're going to take it to the streets. And what I mean by that is take it to the audience. We got an audience full of youth that have some great things to say, and we're going to talk to you right after these messages. And we're back. So I know we did a lot of talking today. And again, I thank all of you for coming. We didn't do talking just to talk. We want some solutions. We have some hopes and desires that having this session and talk shows like this, outcomes that we want. So let's talk about some hopes and dreams from having this session in our community. Irie?
I feel like there should be safer bus stops for people to wait at, like whether it's security, a camera, or anything, just something that can make sure that they're safe. And I'll say off that having family, friends, and just people in general, strangers being friendlier to people will help people feel more safe outside. And I'm not saying, randomly come up to people and be awkward about it, but just be kind and friendly, check on them if they feel, if you see that they feel unsafe, if you're checking their body language. So, yeah.
To also build off of what Clea said, I think having like more youth in our stores or any like stores on the street, not more like grocery stores and like the mall or anything, but having like younger kids or like young adults in stores will help us be more comfortable instead of having to go to a like not a old person but like an older adult, and it would be kind of awkward having to go to them and you're uncomfortable about something. So going to a younger person definitely would make youth feel more comfortable and more safe having to talk to them.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, last thing I'll say off that too is just as a youth, as a younger person, be what you'd like to see. Be the person that if I see that she's uncomfortable, I'm going to go to her and be like, "Oh, are you all right? Are you okay?" I'm going to be that youth that's going to step out and create that friendlier atmosphere for everybody. So, yeah.
Thank you. I love that. So building community, building a village, a family. I love that, ladies. Thank you very much. All right, now we have three young men on the couch. What's some of your hopes and dreams and outcomes from having these sessions? We are joined by DeAndre, Zarian, and Jakai.
More so just like, cops who care, instead of just watching us fight, just beat each other up. Like, I like more so want to see like cops who care about the well being of other kids, even though they're doing something they shouldn't be doing, at least like give some thought into like, oh wait, these kids could kill each other, like for real, like instead of just watching it and like more so with like being like when they get out of school, be ready for like anything instead of just sitting there like, oh, did you watch the game last night or something like that? Just like pay attention more so to what we're doing to what each other, how we're acting towards each other, like what's the motion, like what's the vibe between everybody else. Even though it may not something may not happen, like but still just be ready to like just handle the problem.
I feel like there should be like more guards around the school because there have been a lot of school shootings, and like there've been like a lot of kids who've been like running away from school because they feel like they don't want to go to school no more because it's like not safe, and they want to be somewhere where there's like protection, security guards, metal detectors, and yeah.
And just to piggyback off like the guards thing, I feel like that there should be more younger guards, I guess, because there are a lot of older guards, but if like a real situation to occur, it would probably take them a little longer to get there than a younger guard, especially if your school does have like a lot of stairs. It would probably take them a little bit to get up or down the stairs.
Yeah, with the younger guard things, you know, a lot of kids do like to, run towards the problem or like run from the situation because they know they've done something. Like we need like cops, not necessarily cops, like just anybody who's like willing to like volunteer to help watch us, get when we get us home safely, make us not make us, but like encourage us to leave when there's something that like we're not supposed to be seeing, like encourage us to leave to go home because it's been a minute since we've been outside. So it's just like anybody who's like, because I know it's uncomfortable for all of us to like talk to somebody like older, like it's like real uncomfortable, like that time conversation you don't want to have. So like I feel like we need younger people, like somebody we like relate to, like just chop it up with each other, like to get us off the mindset like, oh, something's about to happen, I should go pay attention to that instead of going home. It's like somebody just like to talk to, like, and then go, like when they say it, we need to go, it's time for us to go, like for real.
Thank you, gentlemen. I love that. So it sounds like more people with a heart for the youth, more people, more guards, young adults with a heart for the youth, more training and de-escalation, correct? So I thank you for that. Thank you so much. And we're back with three more lovely ladies. We have Asia, Bella, and Savannah. What's some of your hopes, dreams, and outcomes from having sessions like this and this talk show, this platform? What are your hopes?
Well, my hopes is like more towards sacred places that the young kids can go to after school, because a lot of kids like go through situations where they don't want to go right home after school. They want to like go and have fun, play basketball, do sports, whatever they want to do. And also, I feel like they hang out downtown after school, LaSalle Station and Utica Station more, and it causes a lot of conflict and fights that can be avoided.
So I feel like you could go to like somewhere and talk to your friends instead of like going somewhere like your mom like don't want you to go to, and your mom be like, oh no, this and that, and it might like make you feel different, and like you said, like make you want to run away and stuff because you don't have a lot of things to do.
When we say sacred place, I feel like it's not all just about like the place that we're at. I feel like it's also about like the people we're with, and that we have good vibes and stuff that everybody likes, and everybody could get along in safe places, and that like where people could protect us, and we know we're protected in a safe environment. And yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful answers, ladies. So I'm gonna dig a little in here. What exactly does an ideal safe space, safe community center look like? What's there?
Um, I feel like it should be like kids in the gym playing basketball or playing football or whatever sports they like to play. Kids playing chess, getting help, and the kids in the corner getting help with homework. Kids just conversating, having a good time, and actually getting along, and actually having curriculars that they can do after school where it doesn't have to be like conflict all the time. So.
Okay, so I feel like there should be chairs and like pillows so they could like hold and stuff, so they could just let their not anger but like something like that out. And then to add on what Asia said, people playing basketball and other things and other.
I feel like it's like really all about what everybody likes, like hearing like people laugh and just like feeling like good about where you at, like not having to worry about nothing, like having things that everybody likes. Like me, I like swimming and stuff, or like a snack bar, maybe like people stuff like that. And yeah, that's really a bit like I just really want to focus on the safe environment, and so I could feel safe, because a lot of stuff's been happening lately, and we just want to be protected.
One more thing. To piggyback on what Savannah said, I feel as though a lot of kids is like more towards like social media and being on their phones, being on the technology. I feel like they don't really get like that little taste of being outside, actually having fun, and actually seeing something else instead of like what they see on social media. Because a lot of stuff on social media does not is not really real, and they believe that it is real, and they should like focus more on like the real things that they have and the opportunities that they can have outside of being on the phone.
Wow, wow, wow. Beautiful, beautiful answers. Look, y'all got the answers, right? So it's our job to make it happen. Sounds like more sacred space surrounded with, like Savannah said, with people that really care and that's going to really be there, a heart for people. Like Bella said, some pillows and some blankets, stress objects for if we having a stressful time. Just a sense of community. I love it. And Asia, just again, a sacred place that we can call our own, that we can go when we've had a rough day, and just time to ourselves, community. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for your answers. Thank you, guys. So the time has come where we bring in this talk show to an end. We thank you all for tuning in. This is a place where we allowed our children to have a voice to speak about these issues and things that's concerning them. Bottom line, they need a safe space, and we got to do something about it. Till next time, I'm Dontaya Davis.